are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
It's Ria Mahommed here, hosting the Next Gen show on Radio Al Ansar. It's not just a radio show, it stands as a powerful movement in its own right. It embodies the essence of individuality, creativity, and positivity, where we explore the latest trends and engage in lively discussions. Expect a mix of insight, humor, and mental health, social justice, and relevance that promises an enlightening and enjoyable listening experience, ensuring you don't miss out on this captivating adventure on Next Gen.
Did you look at the night, see the light of the moon? Did you look at the sun, giving you warmth? Did you look at the sky? Are you falling in love? It is from the Creator. You can't get enough. He is everywhere, and He knows we stay. Yes, He knows. Yes, He knows. He knows. You've got the world in your hands. He's the one who we're thanking for life. He is a Rahman. He is a Rahman. See the birds how they fly, feel the tears when you cry. He's the one who gives everything. He'll never leave you behind, 'cause He's the one that always makes things better. And He's the one that always lives forever. He's everywhere. He knows we stay. Yes, He knows. Yes, He knows. You've got the world in your hands. You gotta thank Him for life. He is a Rahman.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is your host Ria Mahommed on Next Gen right here at Radio Al Ansar. From exploring current trends to delving into pressing issues like social justice and mental health, this show is fiercely tackling pivotal subjects that resonate deeply within our generation. My mission is to embody authenticity, relatability, and humor, ensuring that even the most challenging discussions become accessible and engaging, creating a space where listeners can feel understood and entertained simultaneously. Well, now, alhamdulillah, my voice is finally back compared to last week. But anyway, today we will be discussing Gen Z's health perspectives. Gym talk versus real life. Are TikTok workouts helping or hurting Gen Z's fitness journey? Quick fixes, 30-day abs, glow-up challenges, we've all seen them on TikTok. The infamous world of gym talk. But here's the question. Are these viral workouts really helping Gen Z into a healthier lifestyle? Or are they quietly doing more harm than good? Today we're diving deep into the world of gym talk versus real-life fitness. And shortly, gym talk is both helpful and harmful. It lowers the barrier to starting. It sparks motivation and creativity, but it also amplifies misinformation, unrealistic aesthetics, and risky behavior. Used smartly, it's a brilliant getaway. Used uncritically, it can derail progress or cause real harm toward individuals. So below, I'm going to unpack why, what evidence says, and exactly how Gen Z exerciser or parent or coach can get the benefits and avoid these traps. Now, what is Gym Talk? Why does Gen Z love it so much? Now, Gym Talk, the TikTok corner of fitness content, bundles workouts, tips, transformations, and fitspo into 15 to 90-second clips, and the format matches how Gen Z consumes media. Short, snackable, highly visual, and algorithm-driven. Now, TikTok is one of the most used platforms for teens and young adults, and many in that age group turn to it for lifestyle and health ideas. Now, why does this matter? When the algorithm favors engaging snippets, creators who promise quick fixes dramatic results, or eye-catching from trend to go viral, whether the content is safe or accurate or not. Now, the helpful side. What Gym Talk gets right. Number one, I'm going to give you slow friction accessibility. Free short workouts remove cost and intimidation. So beginners can try a 10-minute routine in their bedroom, and this lowers the activation energy to start moving. A huge win for a Serenity youth. Behavior change literature and platform analysis shows social content, and that can increase intentions with exercise. Number two is motivation and community, where trends, duets, and challenges create micro communities and accountability that can sustain short term motivation. Now, content creators who show progression, realistic setbacks, or inclusive body types can normalize exercise for people who felt excluded by traditional gym culture. Number three, variety and creativity. From mobility to micro hit to beginner strength moves, creators expose viewers to a wide menu of options, and that can help folks discover what they enjoy, which predicts long-term adherence. And lastly, number four, micro learning habits and cues. Short tips, for example, how to brace the core for squats, can be effective memory cues when prepared with practice, especially for motivated learners. Then we look at the harmful side, the real risks and evidence. Number one is poor quality or misinformation, where multiple content analysis and studies find that the substantial share of popular TikTok fitspo or exercise video lack evidence based on guidance, omit safety cues or overall benefits, and that lowers the educational value and raises risks. Number two, form and rehab errors. Injuries, most important. Studies evaluated that medical or rehab topics on TikTok, for example, ankle sprain rehab videos, found many posts were low quality and potentially misleading, and clinicians have reported injuries and cases linked to trying viral challenges or replicating exercises without supervision. Real world news, stories, collaborative, serious injuries from following unvetted online routines. Number three, unrealistic aesthetics and body image harms. Fit inspiration content often reinforces narrow body ideals and can promote unhealthy behaviors, for example, extreme dieting, overtraining, and supplement misuse. Research and university commentaries warn about the effect on young people's body image. Number four, commercial conflicts and unsafe products. TikTok has been flagged as a vector for marketing of performance enhancing drugs and other risky products to young people, like ads and influencer posts can normalize dangerous shortcuts. Then number five, lack of individualization and progression. Short viral routines rarely include assessment, progression plans, load prescriptions, or adaptations for injuries, key elements of safe, effective training and that trainers use in real life. Now, here's how to interpret the evidence, what papers actually show. Content analysis. Show high visibility or low quality fitspiration videos. Not that every TikTok workout is bad, but that the algorithm often promotes what's catchy and not what's correct. Surveys and behavioral studies show I'm so sorry. Social media fitness content can create increased motivation and intention to exercise. But that doesn't automatically equal safe or effective long-term training. Medical reviews and case reports document injuries and poor quality rehab instruction on TikTok, a real signal that unsupervised replication of complex moves is actually really risky. So, the evidence paints a mixed picture. Gym Talk nudges people toward movement, but cannot replace qualified programming, progressive overload, and medical rehab oversight when needed. Now, practical evidence based on rules for using gym talk safety for Gen Z. Now, use this as your personal checklist, okay, before you try a routine seen on TikTok. Number one, check the credentials of the creator, like physiotherapists, PT or physio, certified strength and conditioning coaches, or accredited personal trainer, ideally listed. If none, treat the content as inspiration and not instruction. Number two, what you're going to do is look for cues about progression and regressions. Good creators show easier and harder options, tempo reps, and safety notes. If the video only shows a single max movement without scaling, skip it. Then you get the no pain is not safe. Watch for form. If a movement looks uncontrolled, uses excessive weight, or shows people grinding through pain, do not imitate. Because you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to tire yourself. And then we look at cross-check with trusted sources. Use accredited orgs like National Health Services, university clinics, or short literature summaries to confirm claims about frequency, sets or reps, or nutrition. You should avoid one-size-fits-all extremes, viral splits, 30-day transformation claims, or no equipment miracles, and any red flags if they promise major body changes without long-term programming. And then be cautious with supplements or drugs. So ignore creators promoting SARMs, steroids, or quick fix drugs. Platforms are still fighting this marketing and risks are real. And lastly, when in doubt, consult a professional. If you have pre-existing injuries or health conditions, ask a physiotherapist or certified trainer to modify moves. So, for creators and coaches, how to make gym talk safer if you post fitness content and want to be responsible. Always add short-term safety and caveat and a beginner regression. Then you can tag credentials on your profile and link to a fuller program or resource. You can encourage screening if you want to have if you had a recent injury, okay? And highlight when viewers should seek supervision. You should show progression across clips, not just glow up edits, and this can help normalize the show and slow sustained improvement. And then evidence shows creators with transparent, clinician informed content are more likely to deliver net benefits. So, what's the verdict? Are TikTok workouts helping or hurting Gen Z? Honestly, it's both, okay? Helping in that TikTok lowers that bar to start exercising, but builds curiosity and creates supportive micro communities. Hurting when content is unqualified, promotes extremes, or leads to people to copy complex movements without progression or supervision. Now, the platform amplifies both motivation and risk. The outcome depends largely on who you follow and how critically you treat what you see. The strongest path is to use Gym Talk as a getaway and a supplement, not a sole curriculum. So, use Gym Talk for ideas and motivation, but verify technique and progression. Beware of body image, supplement, and too good to be true claims. If you're starting out, pick creators with credentials and follow evidence-based programs and get baseline coaching if possible. Now, let's go into this toward psychology and long-term outcomes comparisons between gym talk fitness versus real-life fitness practice, okay? Now, let's look at the psychology of gym talk. Now, TikTok thrives on dopamine loops, endless scroll, flashy edits, and instant transformations. Now, that's the very different from what real-life fitness requires: patience, consistency, and delayed gratification. The gym talk effect. Viewers crave quick changes, like 30-day ab trends, and this conditions them to expect unrealistic timelines. Now, in real life, fitness adaptations like strength endurance and fat loss follow biological timelines. Strength gains may show in weeks, but visible body comparison and composition shifts often take months or years. And then the mismatch. When Gen Z tries a viral routine and doesn't look like a creator in 3 weeks, frustration and dropout raises rates. That explains why so many young people program hop, which means they switch routines constantly. Then we look at the performance versus aesthetic divide. On Gym Talk, most videos center around aesthetic results, like shredded abs, glutes, shoulders, but in real life training, performance goals: lift heavier, run faster, recover quicker, sustain motivation better than chasing an aesthetic ideal. Then we look at Gen Z exposed to only the aesthetic side may miss the real joy of fitness, improved energy, mood, mental health, and functional strength. Studies show young people motivated by appearance goals alone have higher dropout rates and worse body image compared to those motivated by health or performance. Then we're going to look at the algorithm body type. TikTok pushes out what we know people linger on, usually like slim thick, shredded, or hypermuscular bodies. This creates an algorithmic ideal, not diverse reality. So, it impacts on Gen Z, normalizes steroid use and aesthetic shortcuts, includes those with different genetics, build, or disabilities. It fuels body dysmorphia and eating disorders, which are already rising in youth. So in real gyms, you'll see diversity. People training for rehab, older lifters, beginners, disabled athletes. That balance rarely trends online. Then you look at the knowledge gap. TikTok workouts training program. Now, Gym Talk workouts one-off snippets, often without structure, like reps, sets, progression, rest, recovery. Then we look at real training that follows principles like progressive overload, periodization, specifically recovery. Now, without these principles, viewers risk junk volume, like moving a lot, sweating, but not progressing. It feels like training isn't optimized for actual change. Then risk of injury and overtraining. TikTok trend workouts often skip warm up or cool down. They show advanced moves, for example, handstands, push ups, heavy hip thrusts with no regressions. Now, in real gyms, trainers tailor moves to individual capacity, mobility, injury history. For Gen Z whose bodies are still developing, the risk of chronic strain, tendon injuries, and poor movement habits is higher when copying unsupervised clips. Now, social media versus social support. On Gym Talk, support is digital, like likes, duets, comments, quick dopamine hits. In real life gyms or teams, support is embodied in spotting each other on lifts, celebrating progress, accountability across months. I mean, I go to the gym, I train, and I prefer to train alone. That's my thing, because I feel like I don't have a distraction. I can grind, I can do what I need to do in a shorter period of time. And yeah, I can go toward my goal without having to worry about someone else or anything like that. But what I feel like the problem toward that is when I'm maybe squatting with a barbell, I need someone to spot me, and I don't have that person, so I'm kind of stuck there. So anyway, research shows in-person social support that is a stronger predictor of exercise endurance than online validation. So you don't need that. Now, then we're going to look at the long-term impact on Gen Z fitness culture, like potential positives if they use it wisely. Like Gen Z could be the most fitness-curious generation yet. They may normalize mobility, functional training, and lifting weights earlier than past generations. And then potential negatives if misused, that's increased injury, supplement misuse, disordered eating. Fitness reduced to aesthetics and clout rather than lifelong health. Then we look at bridging Gym Talk with real life solutions. How can Gen Z get the best of both worlds? So you can start on Gym Talk, grow offline, use it to find movements you enjoy, and then transition to structured programs or gym classes. Follow credentialized creators, physiotherapists, certified trainers, strength coaches, and not just influencers with abs. Then document reality, not just highlights. If you post, show rest days, bad days, and realistic progression. Then the hybrid approach. Try workouts you see online, but anchor them into a structured weekly plan, like push, pull, legs, progressive overload, mobility days. In fact, last week, Thursday, we had Abdul Qadir Sabrati who spoke about the push-pull method. Anyway, prioritize mental health metrics like track sleep, energy, recovery, and not just how you look. Then we look at the key comparison table. Feature, gym talk, real life, and fitness. Accessibility, free, quick, everywhere. Then cost, time, money, less convenient. That leads to motivation, fast dopamine, challenges, trends, slower built on routine and community. Then content content aesthetic driven, bite-sized, often unverified, individualized, progressive, holistic, um, risk high if unsupervised, injury, misinformation, lower with progressive and professional guidance. And the outcome of that is short-term hype, inconsistent results, sustainable progress, and long-term health. So, Gym Top is a getaway drug to fitness. Fun, addictive, and inspiring, but can't be the whole journey. Real transformation lives in the grind of consistent, progressive real-world training. If Gen Z leans and learns that to treat TikTok workouts as a spark, not the fire, they will thrive. If they treat it as the only source, they will risk burnout, injury, and body image harm. Then we look at body image and social media. Now, how filters, fitness influences, and gym selfies affect confidence. Now, body image and social media, this leads to now, let's give you the short version, okay? Now, social media doesn't just show images, okay? It trains a new standard of normal. Repeated exposure to edited faces, idealized fitness content, and curated gym selfies that changes the way people compare themselves, think about their bodies, and behave. That change is measurable and, for many young people, harmful. The core of psychological engines, how harm happens, okay? Now, there are 4 simple mechanisms that explain most effects. The upward social comparison, we compare our real selves to idealized images and usually come up short. Internalization of ideals, repeated viewing makes the curated ideal feel like standard we should meet. Self-objectification, you start treating your body as an object to be viewed rather than a functional self that lowers self-worth. Algorithmic amplification, where engagement-driven feeds promote the most edited, attention-grabbing posts, not just the most realistic. And these pathways are why higher or more problematic social media use is linked with greater body satisfaction, lower self-esteem, and higher risk behaviors among adolescents and young adults. Now, filters and Snapchat filtered dysmorphia. Now, they aren't real me problem. What filters do in practice now, instantly alter proportions like the slim jaw, smooth skin, enlarged eyes, so the filtered face becomes someone else's preferred self. Then repetition trains people to value the edited self more than unedited one. What evidence shows? Clinicians and researchers have documented rising requests for cosmetic procedures motivated by filtered selfies, and the phenomenon often called Snapchat dysmorphia or filter dysmorphia. People sometimes ask surgeons to replicate a filtered look. Now, the gap between digital and real can worsen body satisfaction and push risky choices. Then the practical takeaway, filters create moving target. The more you use them, the more the unfiltered self feels wrong. Reducing filter or clearly labeling edited photos can reduce that pressure. Then the fitness influences or fitspiration. Motivation with a hidden cost, 2 faces of fitspiration, like useful side. accessible workouts, movement, ideas, community, and motivation, especially powerful for people otherwise wouldn't start. Then the risky side, aesthetic focus, staged before and after edits, extreme timelines, and promotion of supplements or quick fixes. And what the research finds. Exposure to Fitspiration style content is associated with increased body dissatisfaction, more appearance comparisons, and worse moods in viewers, even if it sometimes raises short term exercise motivation. So, content analysis on platforms like TikTok show many viral fit posts lack safety cues and overemphasizes looks. So the practical takeaway is follow qualified creators like personal trainers, sports scientists, and accredited trainers. Treat viral workouts as inspiration and not a prescription. So, gym selfies, viewing versus posting viewers, gym selfie content. Now, constantly seeing idealized gym bodies encourages upward comparisons and lowers body satisfaction, particularly in teens and young adults. Now, posting can give short term boosts like likes and comments, but also increases monitoring and editing. Frequent selfie editing, posting is linked to higher objectification and can worsen mood or self esteem over time. Research shows both positive and negative pathways. Posting can make you feel validated, but can also make your confidence dependent on external approval. So, our practical takeaway is if posting, be honest sometimes, no filter, no edit, and decouple self worth from likes. If viewing, curate the feed to reduce comparison triggers. So, the question is who is most at risk? Adolescents and young adults, especially girls and young women, show the strongest harmful effects. Boys are affected too, though, like muscular ideals and fit aesthetics are increasingly targeted as men. People with prior anxiety, low self esteem, eating disorders, histories, or perfectionism are more vulnerable. And then we look at the short term and long term effects. The short term, mood shift after viewing, envy, inspiration, and shame. These are immediate and common. Long term, repeated exposure without countermeasures predicts chronic and dissatisfaction on bodies, cosmetic procedures or disorders, behaviors, systematic reviews, and content analysis backs this pattern. Then we look at interventions that actually help, what the evidence supports. Media literacy, school programs teaching young people to recognize editing, staging, and marketing reduces harmful body comparisons and builds resilience. Then body positive and functionality messaging, emphasizing what bodies can do, like strength, mobility, and health, improves body appreciation. Then reducing filter exposure, like labeling edits. Platforms or creators labeling edited images helps, and some platforms have already removed or limited surgery mimicking filters. Then therapeutic interventions, programs that increase body image, flexibility, reduce vulnerability to image threats. And then practical tools that you can use today. I'm going to give you 5. So, number 1 is free audit. So, like unfollow or mute 5 accounts that trigger negative comparison. Number 2 is that you can filter reports. Before posting or reacting, ask yourself, is this edited? And that 3-second pause reduces automatic comparison. Number 3, function focus. Swap 1 appearance, post a day, for what my body did today. Post like a walk, lift, a play. And number 4, follow diversity, actively following creators of different sizes, ages, and abilities and ethnicities. And number 5, lastly, teach the kids a short media literacy chat. So ask them what's real versus staged, and that goes further than you think. And then when to get help. If social media habits are linked with obsessive editing, restrictive eating, compulsive exercising, and mood deterioration, or talk of drastic cosmetic procedures, encourage supportive chat with a GP, school counselor, or mental health professional. early, non-judgmental support really matters. So here is a quick checklist, one imaginable slide. As I mentioned, unfollow 5 trigger accounts today. Try 7 days with no face filters. Replace one look post with a do post like movement or function. Follow 3 qualified creators like a personal trainer, physio, registered dietitian. If feelings worsen, reach out. It's about environment and not weakness. So let's look at this toward that covers psychology, sociology, culture, and even economics behind the body image and social media. So you've got plenty of materials for your book, okay? Now, body image and social media, fitness, filters, influences, gym selfies, and the theme, how confidence is built or broken online. Now, filters curating the self. Why filters are so powerful? Filters don't just tweak photos, they reshape identity. When someone spends months presenting a filtered version of themselves, they may start believing their real face or body is not good enough. This creates why psychologists call self-discrepancy the painful gap between the actual self, like what you look like, and the ideal self, the filtered version. What happens psychologically? People begin to prefer the edited version. That preference becomes an expectation. Reality feels inadequate. And over time, repeated use feeds the body dysmorphia, obsessing over flaws that others may not even see. Then we look at the sociocultural effect. Filters create a new beauty norm when entire friendship groups use the same filters, unfiltered photos look out of place, and the standard of normal shifts upwards, fueling insecurity for everyone. Then we look at fitness influences and fitspiration versus thinspiration, positive contributions. They democratize fitness, workouts are free, anyone can try them, and Gen Z feels included in global fitness culture. Some influencers advocate strength, health, mental well-being rather than just aesthetics. And then we look at the darker side. Many influencers sell an inspirational lifestyle that isn't just about exercise. It's linked to expensive supplements, clothing lines, beauty standards, and even cosmetic procedures. They showcase aesthetic performance like abs, curves, muscles, rather than functional fitness. Now, for a teen audience, this message translates to looking fit matters more than just being healthy. Then we look at the psychological trap. Influencers are often genetically blessed to use like lightening, editing, and sometimes enhancement surgery or steroids, but the audience compares themselves as if they are a level playing field. Research shows that this kind of upward comparison creates dissatisfaction even if viewers are otherwise active or healthy. And then we look at the cultural rebel. Strong is the new skinny. Sounds empowering, but still places appearance at the center. So instead of chasing thinness, young people are now chasing hyper-defined muscles and slim-thick ideals. Then we look at gym selfies and validation economy. Why people post them. Motivation, accountability, posting workouts signals consistency. Validation like likes and comments give instant reward. Branding for influencers are selfies part of identity building and business. And what happens to confidence? Short term, likes, comments give a confidence boost. Long term, confidence becomes conditional. Like I only feel good when my post does well. Then frequent posting can lead to self-objectification, focusing on how the body looks rather than how it feels or functions. And then we look at the peer effect. Gym selfies, peer groups create subtle competition. Who looks leaner, who lifts heavier, who posts more often. Even among friends, this can lead to envy or pressure. Then we look at the generational layer. Why Gen Z is most impacted. Now, Gen Z grew up with front-facing cameras, filters, and influencers. They've never known a world without them. Unlike millennials who saw the transition, Gen Z's baseline normal has always included edited images and online body comparison. Now, they are digital narratives, but not always media literate. They impact how filters exist, but underestimate their impact. Okay, anyway, I will be back right after the ad break. I'll see you soon.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Verily, every soul shall taste death. A gentle reminder for all of us. The Al Ansar Outreach warmly invites you, dear sisters, to our annual Ghusl classes, a sacred journey guided by respected mu'allimat. Ladies only, Saturday, 25th October, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Seats are limited, so don't delay. Register now, 031-208-1601.
Johannesburg, are you ready? This October, prepare for an experience that will light up this city. The brand new Al Ansar Lakewood Festival is coming to the stunning conference center in Ormonde. From October 2nd to the 6th, we're taking over for 5 incredible days from 10 a.m. till late. Think Team Al Ansar meets the best of Josie. From comedy to content creators, it's everyone and everything all jam-packed together. A shopper's paradise, flavors from around the world, non-stop entertainment. This isn't just another event. This is the ultimate family day out. The Al Ansar Lakewood Festival, where Johannesburg comes together.
You know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible margarine called Wooden Spoon, and it's been a total lifesaver for my baking adventures. It makes my icing turn out just perfect every time. When I whip up something with Wooden Spoon, I feel like a master baker. Seriously, my cakes have never looked better. The secret? Wooden Spoon margarine. It's like the magic ingredient for nailing those perfect bakes. And guess what? It's even endorsed by the South African Bakers Guild Association. Just another quality product from the Willowton Group.
اللهم إنك ترى ما نزل بنا في غزة من الأحوال يا ذا الجلال والعزة يا ذا الجبروت والعزة اللهم أعز أهل غزة اللهم فرج عن أهل غزة اللهم فرح أهل غزة اللهم انصر أهل غزة اللهم داو جريحهم اللهم اشف مريضهم اللهم اقبل شهيدهم اللهم ارحم ميتهم اللهم كفف جراحاتهم وبرد آلامهم اللهم واجعل لهم وللمسلمين فرجا قريبا يا الله اللهم فرج عنا وعن المسلمين في كل مكان اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين واخذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين سبحانك سبحانك ترى الظالمين فتمهلهم حتى يظنوا أنك تهملهم وتبتلي الصالحين في الدنيا حتى يستيئسوا فإن استيئسوا أتيتهم بنصرهم اللهم إنك تعلم أن جراحات المسلمين كثيرة وآلامهم كثيرة في كل مكان وفي كل زمان اللهم فانصرنا على أعدائنا يا الله اللهم فثبت أقدامنا يا الله
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
There's a pathway if you want it. But the street is surrounded by thorns.
Okay, beautiful souls, it is me, Ria Mahommed, back live on Next Gen. Now, we're talking about intersectional factors, not one size fits all. Like gender, girls tend to internalize thickness and beauty ideals. Boys increasingly pressure toward masculinity. Culture, Western ideals spread globally via TikTok and Instagram, but merge with local beauty norms, for example, skin lightening, curvy ideals, and tallness. Then we look at the socioeconomic class. Like influencers promote expensive gym gear, supplements, aesthetics that may be inaccessible, fueling frustration and fitness consumerism. Then we look at the economic engine, why this persists. Now, social media platforms profit from engagement, like edited, aspirational, envy-inducing content keeps people scrolling longer. Influencers monetize insecurities by selling fixes, fitness plans, protein powders, detox teas, and cosmetic procedures. Cosmetic injuries and industries report rising demand linked to social media trends. For example, Snapchat dysmorphia, driving cosmetic consultations. Then we're looking at the long-term consequences, like mental health, increased risks of anxiety, depression, and eating disorders, behavioral, obsession with dieting, compulsive training, and cosmetic surgeries. Identity, high confidence becomes tied to image management rather than lived experience. And lastly, social, where relationships strained when self-worth depends on online validation. And then we go to the pathways to resilience, how people, parents, educators, and creators can push back. For individuals, curate your feed, remove triggers, follow diverse and realistic accounts. Focus on body functionality by celebrating what your body does, not just how it looks. Take filter-free days to normalize reality. Practice media literacy and ask, is this edited, staged, or sponsored? For parents and educators, open filter talks. Help young people spot unrealistic edits. Model body positive behavior and don't obsess over people about your weight or appearance in front of children. For creators or influencers, show unedited reality alongside polished content. Emphasize progress, health, and performance. Avoid promoting unsafe supplements or unrealistic promises. And for society or policy, push for labeling of edited or filtered content. Encourage body positive campaigns like Dove's Self Esteem Project. Normalize representation like different body types, ages, and abilities. So think of social media as a funhouse mirror. It reflects reality, but distorted. If you stare too long, you forget what you actually look like. So the task is not to smash the mirror, but to remember it's warped and occasionally step away to see yourself clearly. Anyway, I will see you next week, Thursday, from 2 to 3 p.m. inshallah. The 2nd of October. Wow, a new month. Anyway, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
There's a pathway to peace if you want it. But the street is surrounded by